I'm Paul Solars. I'm a 5th grade teacher in Arlington Heights, Illinois. I've been using e-portfolios for a couple of years, maybe 3 years now. The biggest thing for me is reflections. We use our portfolios as an opportunity to think back along the process and to try to synthesize what we've learned from the new activity that day and combine it with things that we've done earlier. And our reflections should it should show what we've done throughout that process. So ideally, each blog entry is getting better and better at showing what we've done over the course of time in that study. Right now we're in some science and social studies units, so like today we were doing a Mars simulation where we're trying to eventually have a government on Mars, and each step of the way we're learning new skills that I would like my kids to blog about, or I would like my kids to create things about.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too. So we got some questions right here.
So we have been studying frogs, Dr. Bohannon, and we have worked on writing some questions for you. So, do you want to go first? No? All right, Debbie, do you want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
How long does frog stay alive?
Wow, that's a really good question. It kind of depends on what kind of frog it is. So, like little tree frogs, little tiny frogs, maybe just 3 to 5 years. But then like leopard frogs and bullfrogs, about 8 to 10 years. How old are you?
9.
Okay, so they would be alive about the same length of time that you've been born.
In 2012, we produced a set of workbooks actually for grade 4 to 6. And these, they're under a CC BY license, and they were also printed by our government for the whole country. And at that time, they were the only resources that were available. The publishing houses hadn't actually produced any yet, so these were the only resources that teachers had to draw on. And these were also collaboratively authored with a group of volunteers and some external authors. And it was really a fun project, and it's really been very well received. We tried to make them as fun as possible for the age group, and we drew on from a lot of resources that we could, like videos on the web, which were embedded in the content online, and then also trying to educate teachers within the content about this open resource and what they can do with it.
My story of shifting practice really doesn't have much to do with technology at all, and I think that we can get really caught up in using technology and you know, Twitter and all these different things that are happening. But it came out of my classroom. I decided that my students were being mainstreamed. They were just being drawn along the path on a curriculum. And so I decided to, without knowing it, make a system of micro-credentials for my classroom. I just, on a sheet of paper, made a grid of all the things that I think that they should be able to know and do by the end of 6th grade, and let them prove it when they wanted to, when they could, and keep coming back. So they eventually had a whole collection of, didn't call them that at the time, but badges. And that, I think that we forget that badging is not a technology thing. It really starts as a celebration of diversified learning.